The only real question for the rest of today's show is, do I keep the mask on the whole time or not? It doesn't really look like anything without the mask, I don't think. It just looks like I got a bunch of things that I already owned and decided to go fight the Foot Clan. Which is, I think, a lore-accurate Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think because this is an audio program by and large, I think mostly I'll keep holding the baseball bat, I'll keep on the gloves. Maybe I can just put the hockey mask in front of the mic. How about that? Now you know if you join in progress. No, Josh isn't just dressed like he could only find clothes that had been cut into several pieces already. I'm actually in costume for hopefully a very happy Halloween for you and yours. I'm seeing mask on. We may have to tag in and out as we go. This is Everything Else. I am Joshua Brisco. It is brought to you by KC Cannabis Company. You can check them out online at kccannabis.com. I love, well, this is a good question from Alec. We'll come back around to that. I do really love Halloween. I love that it pushes people to meet the societal expectation of being a little silly. Like, put on a costume and go be a little goof. Go get a little whimsicality in your life. I think that's a good thing. I think we probably especially need it. My mom says this sounds too muffled with the mask on. Yeah, but did you know who I was without the mask? Or is it you wouldn't care who I was until I put on the mask? I think that's a different franchise. All that to say, we've got plenty planned for our Halloween edition of Everything Else with you here. Tucker's costume has nothing to do with mine. My costume will make a lot more sense as Renee works on her April O'Neil, and I have seen Scout and Hopper very much under protest being fitted as a couple of Ninja Turtles. So you can expect some really excellent photos coming to a social media platform near you a little bit later on this evening. But we're also getting Halloween smack dab as our lead-in to what we began this season as believing would be the biggest game of the year for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not sure if it still is, but I do think it still kind of feels like it is. And the stakes are maybe even higher than your average Chiefs-Bills game. Here's the crazy thing about it. We've known since the schedule came out, we've been circling Chiefs-Bills. We know every year that Chiefs-Bills is a premier product, usually on CBS, maybe always on CBS. We probably had a night game somewhere in there, right? And that ends up setting the tone for both of those teams, for the AFC, and then for the nearly automatic rematch that happens in January. The thing about it that's so strange this year is that neither the Chiefs nor the Bills are at the top of their division. These are two teams that actually need to win this game for the same reasons that every team needs to win every week. To stay in the hunt. I think we have enough information about the Chiefs and the Bills to believe that they're both very good football teams, and I think they both deserve if not necessarily being the betting favorite, they deserve a healthy inclusion in the race for the AFC East and AFC West, respectively. But these teams aren't locked into those spots anymore. They're not locked in there this week. They are looking up at the Patriots in the Bills' case, and both the Broncos and the Chargers in the Chiefs' case. Now, look, the Chiefs will get another shot at the Chargers, a game they need to win because they need to get their tiebreaker evened out there. They've got 2 games with the Broncos still coming down the line, and those are going to be extremely important, regardless of how it goes on Sunday against Buffalo. But we have the premier quarterback matchup of the NFL. We have, I still think, the rightful top 2 teams you think of when you look at the AFC, and they're both clawing through this first half of their season, more so than maybe ever, as both of these teams have found their current states with their current quarterbacks. So here's the thing that I want to soft launch out here today. We touched on this a little bit on Only Weird Games yesterday, And I don't know if Tucker has heard our 5 things segment that we put in the can, but I will note that we leaned into it even more there. Here's my thesis. The Chiefs are better than the Bills. Pretty convincingly. I don't know if that's gonna matter. That's the story of a great rivalry, isn't it? You go into these games, and how many times over the years the Chiefs have been on either side of it? You're going to Oakland, and either they're expected to win and you play spoiler, or you're expected to win and they play spoiler. How many times do you have one of those infuriating rivalry showdowns where you go, this sucks. Not just because my team lost, but because we were the better team. That's what great rivalries are made of. And right now, in Buffalo, it'll be early November. I don't think we're going to see playoff caliber football from the Chiefs in terms of breaking the glass to get the playoff stuff. Not necessarily like saving the good plays, putting that in air quotes, but bringing the playoff win or go home intensity. This isn't a must-win game. This isn't a win or go home game, but it's a very, very important one. The interesting thing, though, is that I think you can kind of itemize this game and leave feeling pretty good about the Chiefs. The Bills have the best running back in this game, and the best overall running game. And their offensive line has been very good, specifically in terms of James Cook. Of his 6,000 rushing yards he had last week against the Panthers, 5,000 of them were before being touched. Those are exaggerations, but the premise is true. He was untouched for so much of that massive game last week. It's a credit to the O-line. It's a credit to him. It's a detriment to the Carolina Panthers, but it's legitimate. It's worthwhile. Outside of that, where do the Bills have their advantage? Khalil Shakir is very good. I hope this is a Trent McDuffie game in the slot. Now, the Bills are going to run the football a bunch, so Shamari Connor is going to be on the field. He's a good tackling, run-stopping safety, defensive back. I just don't want him to end up in coverage against Khalil Shakir. That's not good for him. It's not good for the Chiefs. And McDuffie, I think, is good enough against the run that you can have him there in the slot, and he's certainly no weakness there. But I understand why Spags falls in love, excuse me, with Shamari Connor. I'm choked up just thinking about Chiefs Bills. I love this game so much. Jackie mentioning the fourth down aspect that Andy Reid has unlocked. I think that is a huge deal. Partially because you have a chance to steal some possessions, partially because you're keeping Patrick Mahomes on the field with an extra play, and partially because it's just the right analytical thing to do. I do think we'll see them be aggressive on fourth down. They were aggressive early in the season, even before you started seeing, like, oh man, we're kind of sliding down the standings here a little bit. Out of the gate, they were obviously sliding down the standings, but that's been pretty consistent throughout this year until the Jags game, when they got a little more conservative, and then they paid for it. Would have loved to have had one or two more possessions against the Jags. The Bills' defense is coasting off reputation right now. It's not a good unit through and through. They've been really bad against the run. Isaiah Pacheco hasn't practiced this week. I don't know what he's doing out there today. Seems like he's probably... Wouldn't surprise me if they just ruled him out by the end of the show today, or near the end of the show when they start putting up those things. I don't know. Maybe he'll be questionable, doubtful. A running back didn't practice on Wednesday or Thursday and may not practice on Friday. I'm not holding my breath. I hope Trey Smith's out there. We'll see. He seems like a legit toss-up. Not sure. But if it's Kareem Hunt and Brashard Smith and maybe a little bit extra of Elijah Mitchell getting his first real action as a Chief, I think you want to run the ball on the Bills' defense. It's not what the Chiefs are built to do, but I also think their passing game is going to look just fine. Rashee Rice is in an excellent spot for this game. The Bills are banged up. They have already lost Ed Oliver. We know he's out. And a couple other guys they ruled out today we'll bring up in a minute. But I keep looking at this game trying to move some of the extracurricular stuff, trying to move away from some of the intangibles. If I'm just looking at this football game and the versions of these teams I've seen in the last few weeks, I'm taking the red team over the blue team. I don't know if it's in dominant fashion, but I feel pretty good about that. Just team A, team B. That only gets you so far, particularly in a game like this one. Particularly when you have everything Buffalo can bring. Particularly when you have a Chiefs team that has had a couple of those moments this year where they've just sputtered for a click long enough to be punished for it. Which is why I want to look back on the Commanders game real quick. I know it was a long time ago. I know we're talking on Friday. We did a show on Monday before that game. But I think there is one particular thing out of that game that matters in a tremendous fashion. Jackie says in the chat earlier, after the first half last week, I kept thinking, oh no, Josh is right. It is a weird one. It's always going to be weird. We have a whole other podcast for that. The thing about the Commanders game that I think really matters, and I think everybody watching and listening now probably noticed this already, but the way the Chiefs came out in the second half of that game mattered to me. I don't care that it was Marcus Mariota and not Jaden Daniels. I don't care that they ended up winning that game convincingly. I only kind of care that it was 7-7 at halftime, and everybody was like, oh man, what's going on here? The process was very Chiefs forward, but the results were a tie game at halftime. The way they came out in that second half, and immediately putting their foot right back on the gas, and then by extension, on the throat of the Commanders, was actually impressive. Genuinely something we don't see from this team all that often. Now, we saw the proper double dips against the Lions and the Raiders. I've talked about that several times now in the last few weeks. That's great. If you're going to just be coasting, if you're going to be not coasting, that's not fair. If you're going to be firing on all cylinders, like they were offensively against the Lions in particular, and then against the Raiders, even though that was against a JV team, they get more credit in my book for doing it against the Lions, but both of them count. If you're firing on all cylinders, just keep firing. Beat the Bills 40-17, and let's have a real easy Monday. Absolutely. Love that. I'm here for it. But that's not how the NFL usually goes. It's not how it went against the Washington Commanders, obviously. I don't get stressed anymore when Steve Spagnuolo's defense doesn't look very good through the opponent's first 15. It's a fact-finding mission, I guess. See what they want to do. See how it lines up with your game plan. How does Spags make little adjustments? Again, they're not going in and drawing up new defenses on the whiteboard, but how do you adjust to what you're seeing? And I'm guessing that Spags is also, among many things, I'm guessing he's extremely good at predicting what your first few options are going to be in terms of what your game plan might be like. That's what tendencies are for. That's what the scouting is for. But once Spags figures that out, the defense is locked in. It's been remarkably consistent that way. I'd love for the Chiefs to come out and make it look easy. But if they don't, I'm going to be less worried during a tie game at halftime than I was last week because I saw how they handled it last week. This is a team that has found its accelerator even when it didn't start that way. I will also add that I think a lot of times energy, we talked about that a lot for the first 2 weeks of the season, energy is kind of a stand-in for execution. There are differences. It's not all the same thing. I don't want to oversimplify it. But if you say, oh, we came out with great energy or we came out with bad energy, that's going to end up coming out with good or poor execution. I don't know that Travis Kelce had bad energy or low energy in week 1 or week 2, hitting Xavier Worthy, tipping a ball to the Eagles that was picked off. I don't know if that was an energy problem, but it was an execution problem. And that's how it translates. If everybody's executing, you could have been taking a nap 5 minutes before kickoff and nobody's going to care. I think those things go hand in hand Because if you come out with great energy and great focus, you're more likely to execute. If you come out and you're executing, you are more likely to have had great energy coming into this game. But again, I think they're nearly synonymous. Just slightly different forms of how that materializes. All that to say, there should be no question at all about energy. Both of these teams need this game more than they usually need the regular season version of it. I don't know if that's going to play out in the Bills' favor, who usually win the regular season games, or if that's going to play out in the Chiefs' favor, who usually win the most meaningful versions of these games. But either way, I do think the Chiefs are the better team, and I think the better team will end up winning this game. But when you've got a rivalry as good as this one, as storied as this one has become, one that feels like a divisional showdown between two teams who do not, in fact, share a division, yeah, man, I'm expecting a weird game. Of course I am. That's what they do. As I've mentioned, everything else is brought to you by KC Cannabis Company. You can visit them online at kccannabis.com. Really hugely glad to have them on board with us. And several things make them a special dispensary option for you here in Missouri. It's for adult use only, of course, 21 and over. They've got a sale right now through November 2nd, the Halloween Slasher Sale. You can check out their website for the details on all of that, kccannabis.com. They were crafted for Kansas City, by Kansas City, in Kansas City. They are truly KC Cannabis for a reason. They've got 5 KC area locations. And again, they're not some transplant from outside of the state that comes in and sees the market and decides we're going to take all this over. They're really in and about this area just like we are. You also can always be confident you're going to go in to KC Cannabis, talk to their bud tenders, and you're going to get whatever information you need. Maybe you're a longtime enthusiast and you need a quick recommendation. You need a look at this. Here's on sale. Maybe here's the menu for you. Or you can go in with absolutely no further knowledge than what you're hearing here today, and you can ask their bud tenders what they think is right for you. I want this or that out of my experience. They'll lead you down the right path. So I am incredibly, incredibly impressed by the folks at KC Cannabis. You're going to enjoy getting to know them as well. They make the cannabis experience simple, welcoming, genuinely helpful because those people are there to help you, not there to go, oh, you don't know about cannabis? Well, please, come back when you've graduated your... There's no class to take about what you need to know before going in to KC Cannabis. Go in, let them educate you, let them bring you along that process, or just let them point to what their favorite is that's available right now. Go check out the Halloween Slasher Sale now through November 2nd, kccannabis.com. We'll take a timeout. We're going to come back. Tucker's coming in. We're going to do our worry and our wish. And right now, I'm just worried that Tucker's going to suck my blood.
Looking for premium products in Kansas City? Whether you're new to the world of dispensaries or a seasoned enthusiast, we've got just what you're looking for. Proudly Kansas City owned and operated, with 5 convenient locations in Kearney, Blue Springs, Excelsior Springs, KC North, and Lake Lotawana. And our knowledgeable team can help educate and guide you so you can feel confident in every choice you make. Come see for yourself what makes us the most trusted name in Kansas City.
Oh no. Who's this in the depths of hell or perhaps Transylvania? Hold on. Here, let me put my mask on so we can get the proper screenshot for today's show. Welcome to everything else. Spooky edition. This is great. I love the fangs, Tucker. It's a really good look. Have you considered just wearing those full time?
Yeah, I have to. I think I have to because of the amount of the adhesive I put in on those to make them stick, because it was really hard to get them to stick. This is actually the first time I think I'm talking with them on too. So this is going to be interesting to do a whole full podcast with fangs in.
Sploctic in the chat says the D stands for Dracula.
Big vampire fan.
I like that a lot.
I should dressed up as Edward Cullen. Truthfully, I need to put some body glitter on or something.
We've got some of that here, I think, if you want. Yeah, if you you want to add to it. Maybe I can wear, I don't know. I got to figure out how to do the mask for part of the show and the rest of the day. I'll I'll figure that out. How are you feeling about Chiefs Bills? We've talked about this game a million times already, of course. It does have proper stakes. It does feel like Chiefs Bills. Like this doesn't feel like these last 2 weeks of like, I'm not sure I care about Washington or Las Vegas as football teams. Sure. I do care about Buffalo. I do think they're good. They also lost to the Falcons a couple weeks ago, and like I don't know what any of that means.
That's all. Yeah, that's very fair. I think I echo your sentiment that the Bills are these Bills are not the Bills, right? Like these aren't the big bad Bills that we have grown accustomed to. And truthfully, Josh, I said this on that football show. I don't know if this game is. I think the Chiefs might roll in this game. The more I look at it, and the more analytically I like. I guess not analytically. Pragmatically look at how this game works out. You look at how these two sides, like let's take the four sides of the ball, right? I guess the two sides of the ball, but the four units, right? The Chiefs have the two best units in this game. If you're just talking about offense and defense, they have the better offense, they have the better defense, and you would probably put the Chiefs defense ahead of the Bills offense too, in terms of like how that all comes down with how well they've been playing recently. They haven't really played anybody, but like neither of the Bills is another secret. But the other part of this too is I think that's the move. I think you have to put it on your head, like tilt it up, you know?
Oh, I could do this. I can see out the off eye hole here. I'd like it to stick like here, but it doesn't right now.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of things that Bills fans would like to stick, especially their passing game and their offense, and it doesn't really do it. So I do think that their passing game leaves more to be desired. I don't know how the Bills offense the Bills defense stops the Chiefs rather. I don't know how that happens. And I've been thinking about it, and it's like, okay, their safety sucks. They don't have anyone that can run with any of their wide receivers.
Right.
Their front seven's not very good. They're missing Ed Oliver, who was their best defensive player, and now they have a defensive tackle who is on the cusps of not playing. And then they had a Bills. This tells you how bad their defense was. Shaq Thompson went from limited to DNP, and they're like, oh no, Shaq Thompson. If you're upset about Shaq Thompson, you got some problems in your defense, man.
And I think Daquan Jones, Joshua Palmer, and Shaq Thompson have now all been ruled out for this game.
There you go. I didn't even see that. Okay.
Just a little bit before the show got going, I saw a text, and I saw another comment about Johnson earlier there too, and I wanted to double check that, but I believe that's the particular case.
Wow. All right. Well, I mean, they are just like decimated on the defensive side of the ball. They have a lack of talent. The Chiefs are a more talented team than they are. And this game should not be close. Now, it probably
does that give you confidence, or because we're in the same spot? Did you listen to the 5 things we did yesterday yet?
No, I called Nick and I asked what you guys talked about because Hamilton was recording after you guys. I was like, oh, I need to ask Nick what you guys talked about so I can tell Hamilton, and he gave me a meandering. They talked about how the Bills suck, and then they said this, and then they said this, and then Nate said this, and then Seth said this, and then Josh said. I was like, okay, well, it sounds like I gotta listen to it. So I haven't done it yet because I haven't edited 5 things yet, but I will eventually.
You're going to have very few parts of it to disagree with, it sounds like. Because Nate, I'll throw Nate under the bus a little bit here. His idea was, he said, I don't want to do it this way on Weird Games. We can do it on 5 things. The Bills stink. And that's where we started. So what we ended up doing, it's honestly, I think it's the best free cross promo for 5 things. It'll show up on your KCSN Chiefs podcast feed. Yep. I think it's the best 5 things we've done in terms of like coming up with a little bit of a bit for it. Tucker, it's the first time I've ever not hated doing 5 things. I'll tell you that. Maybe just having Nick. I don't know. I don't want to make you second guess yourself.
Nick can do it all the time. Then I'll let Nick do it all the time. I'll let Nick fill in.
I feel the same way. Actually, I feel like you and Nick should do it together, and I'll go ahead and skip. Did you know that on Twitter, just @Bills is a completely inactive account with the display name Diane?
No, but that's hilarious. It's like what is it, the Chargers account? It's like I need to go to PF Chang's with my wife or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So on 5 things, what we ended up doing was Nate started the bidding at the Bills stink. Mm-hmm. And then Seth watered it down to I'm not sure if the Bills are very good. And then I watered it down to the Bills are good, but the Chiefs are better, and I don't know if it's going to matter or not, which was essentially what got my wheels turning into everything here today. I think that's the way to do it. I did a fun interview with a YouTube channel in Buffalo. I think I've retweeted it if you want to watch it. I really enjoy doing it because I think the interviewer did a very good job of opening the boundaries of what Chiefs Bills has been over the years, and the Buffalo perspective and the Kansas City perspective. It was a good chat, and I get the feeling in Buffalo right now that they're nervous, or that there is a level of, yeah, this isn't going to be the year either. And yeah. It's probably too early to say that the entire city of Buffalo has reached that acceptance phase. I don't think that's entirely fair or entirely true. But man, it seems close. Like the fact that you have Josh Allen, who I adore. He's my second favorite quarterback in football, and he's probably one of my 5 favorite football players ever. Like, just to watch him play. Maybe top 5 quarterbacks to watch. I don't know. But like I told I think I said this to Carrington. Like I talk about NFL Street all the time. It's one of my favorite games of all time, one of the most influential games of all time for me. NFL Street 2 in particular. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen were made for NFL Street. Lamar Jackson would have also, of course, been killer. But I think that's why I love those 3 quarterbacks so much, is they have both like that playfulness and that athleticism about their game that's just an absolute delight to watch. But this Bills team has Josh Allen, James Cook, a underperforming, underwhelming defense, and Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
I don't know that's an AFC Championship game team. No. Teams like that have gone there with Mahomes at quarterback because he's dragged incomplete teams much further than they ever should have gone. Allen can elevate. I don't know if Allen's going to drag this team all the way through. I think we've seen Spags on the defensive side get Allen rattled enough to where, I mean, not rattled even. He's been great in games against the Chiefs, to be clear. Mahomes has just been better. The Chiefs' offense has just been better. And this year, I don't think the Bills' defense has an answer to the Chiefs' offense playing the way it has the last couple weeks. It doesn't mean they will play that way on Sunday, but if they play the way they did against Washington in the second half and against Vegas, I don't think anybody's stopping that.
I think this is a perfect lead into our worries and wishes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it right now.
Let me change the lower third. Boom, now we have to do it because I changed the lower third. I've been messing with my fangs a little bit.
I am getting less confident in my half mask wearing ability here, but I'm still pretty happy with both of our costumes. I think the fangs are just has Tara seen you with the fangs yet?
I can't remember if I went in there and showed her. I had texted you, I think like 45 minutes before the show started, and I said I cannot get these fangs to stick.
Yes.
And I think I finally got them to stick by putting like 6 or 7 different dots of adhesive inside of these inside of the fangs. Maybe 10 minutes before the show started. That might be generous. And it was like I had to run downstairs. I was like, oh, I forgot what time it was. So no, I don't know if she has seen me with the fangs in. With them.
I'm just curious for the review. I think that's great. Yeah, so are those on like the rest of the day, you think? Or are they gonna I don't know?
No, I mean I think I could easily pop them off. I think I have to be careful how I talk because
they might just
like pop off. Like you just have to like shift your jaw forward if that makes sense. And then once you do that, and then just pops them straight off. But I've got to actually go to a meeting after this, and I don't think I should go to a meeting dressed as it's about one of my live streams. So I don't think I can go to the meeting. Actually, maybe I could just dress up as a vampire. Just really set the tone. Yeah. Like, hey guys, what's up? You guys scheduled a meeting on Halloween, so I think actually I am. Yeah, I'm a vampire. That's when I put the body glitter on.
Yes, perfect.
But I'm worried I will not be accepted as a vampire in this in 2025.
And that's your worry for today.
That's my worry for the game. Yeah, I'm not really worried much about this game, truthfully. I'll be honest. I know that I saw Paul in the chat being like, "You guys are jinxing the Chiefs." Here's the thing: whatever I say does not matter. So
yeah. Oh, and I was more worried about glossing over the Commanders and Raiders, because we were kind of glossing over that. I'm not in that headspace with Buffalo at all. What I'm saying is the Chiefs are better. But if we come in and we go, yep, okay, Chiefs lose 27-24, I'm not going to be one bit surprised. Better football teams win the game most of the time. They do not win the game all of the time. So my My worry is I got a very specific one here because we've seen it kill the Chiefs so far this year. They've been great against number one running backs. They have had some really bad moments against mobile quarterbacks and even quarterbacks that aren't as mobile as you would expect them to be. I'm worried that Josh Allen scoots. I think if there is a Bills win in this game, I think the most likely stat that I would predict is that Josh Allen has, I don't know if it's 10 runs, scrambles, carries, whatever, however it ends up coming around. But I think it ends up being like 3 first downs and a scrambling touchdown on 4th and goal and some other bit of wizardry somewhere when you go, freaking Josh Allen. They can't. No, I think Spags is respecting Josh Allen properly. I think Leo Chanel is going to be a good answer to some of those questions. But I'm worried that we see Josh Allen have one of those classic games with his legs against a defense that's been gettable against that. So that's my worry.
I think that that worry is very reasonable. My worry is it just has to do with like Josh Allen as well. Is that Josh Allen just like dices up the Chiefs defense in the Chiefs pass rush? This kind of folds into the Chiefs pass rush not being able to get home with 4, and their 4-man pass rush has not been that quick this year and winning quick. That's kind of always, I think that's probably from here on out going to be the worry just for every game is like, you can't give the other quarterback too much time. Now, they haven't seen, they saw Justin Herbert week 1. Week 2, they saw Jalen Hurts. They saw Geno Smith and Marcus Mariota the last 2 weeks. So they haven't seen a quarterback that could truly, really hurt them. I will say that Mariota played well last week.
He did.
Better than I anticipated him to, but still, that's not Josh Allen level of quarterback play. So that would be my only worry is that you give Josh Allen too much time, let him dice you up, and you kind of gotta get home against this team. Both teams. Really, when you look at the matchups, this is now the 10th matchup that these guys have played.
Crazy, right?
That's nuts. And all of them seems like, okay, which side got home in their pass rush is kind of the side that won it all. So Lily agrees. Lily also is on the pass rush.
Lily's got to be on Halloween watch. I mean, this is a big busy time. Doorbells ringing, everything.
Yeah, we might have some trick or treaters. We'll have to go see. I think they might have had a half day at school where I'm at. So
ooh, okay,
yeah. So we'll find out.
I'm with you on the pass rush. That was almost my worry. Was like, that just Josh Allen has time.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The thing that gives me a little bit of hope here is that the idea of these Bills pass catchers having a particularly extra period of time against this Chiefs secondary isn't a death sentence like it is for a lot of teams. Most of the time, you can have the best secondary in football and an average group of pass catchers, and if they have 5 seconds, somebody's going to get open. And that's still true.
Yeah.
I hope that translates to a relatively aggressive game from Spags. And again, I do think that with Leo Chanel being a guy that's sort of spying, and like he did, was it against Lamar that I'm thinking of for the most part? I think when Leo was kind of hanging out at the line of scrimmage and threatening the center or the guard, but then not actually blitzing and then backing up by like a yard to kind of shallow spy almost. I think that's a good answer for Allen again. Spags said yesterday, we're not gonna we're gonna have a mixture of things here. We're not just gonna do one thing all game, which obviously. But so I think that's a very real worry for where this team is at right now. Here's my wish for the game. I'm sticking with Chiefs defense versus Bengals offense. My wish is that James Cook joins the club. I have updated the record from a couple of weeks ago. Here's what we've got. These are number 1 running backs against the Kansas City Chiefs in the games they have played this year. And you're going to notice that there are some incredibly high-end running backs in this list, and then some rookies who you may still have some questions about what they will prove, but that came into the year with real expectations or got expectations on them before the Chiefs game. Yeah. So here's who the Chiefs have held down so far. Omarion Hampton had 15 carries for 48 yards. Saquon Barkley had 22 for 88. Cam Scatterbo had 10 for 60. Derrick Henry had 8 for 42. Travis Etienne, 12 for 49. Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 for 65. David Montgomery, 4 for 24. Ashton Genty, 6 for 21. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, 9 for 25. Now, that gets easier when you are leading. That is easier when you're making the Commanders and Raiders, and even the Lions to an extent, try to play some catch-up by throwing the ball there. But that is an unbelievable resume for a defense that has not gotten the reputation of this like great run-stopping unit. I have been so impressed with how they have limited some of the best backs in football. And James Cook is another one of those guys. And he's had a better season, I think, than anybody else on that list right now. There's a couple guys that would have a real argument. But Cook is up there with the absolute tippy top and maybe one notch behind what Jonathan Taylor's done so far this year. But Cook is right there. So I really hope, my wish is that James Cook joins that particular club and the Chiefs get to enjoy holding down another top-end running back.
I want to add and kind of piggyback off of that. I did some research during the Marathon World Series game. I tweeted this out at 1:31 a.m. Not great,
Excellent.
Strategy on my part for tweeting.
There was an
out stats,
hour
right?
left of that baseball game from when you tweeted that.
Yes, 100%. This is the Chiefs rushing yards versus like their average as well. So the Chiefs have only allowed Saquon Barkley and Cam Scatterbo to rush over their per game average on the season, which Saquon is interesting because he rushed for 88 and then the whole team hated each other after that.
Right.
They've continued to hate each other. So like that's why his average has gone down. Cam Scatterbo, boo, bo, don't matter.
Well, today it's Scatterboo.
Exactly. He is not going to change his average anymore this year, so that number won't fix. But like Henry averages 72 yards a game, ETN 73. They held those guys to 40, like in the 40s. Jahmyr Gibbs 75. He had 65, right? But yeah, Bill Krosky-Merritt only get 25 and 50. He averages 53. Ashton Genty averages 63.6, and he had well under that. So. This defense, I talked about this with Verderame a little bit. This defense is so interesting because it doesn't feel like they're as dominant as they are. Like it doesn't like they've only allowed 7 points in the last 8 quarters, but it doesn't feel like it's been like a stifling defensive led team. This is a team with a elite, incredible offense, and their defense is also like top 5. So it's one of those things where it feels weird that they are as good as they are defensively. I think it might be because of going back to the pass rush. Like usually when you think of dominant defense, you think of like dominant pass rushing, dominant pressure after the quarterback, sacks, everything like that. And not necessarily in that regard of that thing. Maybe that's why it feels weird. But I like the points you made about like the receivers and like these receivers don't get open all that well for them. But my wish for the game, and well, this is maybe a wish for life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Josh, you know me. You and I are both big bobblehead guys.
Huge bobblehead guys. You can't see any of them in my shot right now, but I got a bunch of them around here.
Yeah, I got a bunch back. This bookshelf is practically full of bobbleheads. I love bobbleheads.
Bookshelf.
Sorry, go ahead.
I love bobbleheads. They're like one of my favorite collectible items. And kind of the things that I like about bobbleheads, I know Foco does a lot of good bobbleheads, right? You can buy the bobbleheads, but there's nothing beats a bobblehead giveaway.
Nothing.
Like a bobblehead giveaway, like the bobbleheads you get from a giveaway are incredible. And funny enough, this is weird. The KC Current are giving away their first ever bobblehead this week. Did you see this?
What an awesome time for you to talk about bobbleheads.
I know. The KC Current giving away their first bobblehead this Sunday. It's their last home game, last regular season home game for a historic season, right?
Right. They clinched their 1 seed 6 months ago, like we talked about.
Yeah, we talked about how like they're just on an absolutely like dominant.
That was
season.
a long time ago that we talked about that.
Yeah, that was like episode 3 of the show.
I think so.
We are in week 10 of the NFL season. But look, they're having a fan appreciation day. Got to shout out all the fans, you know. So they are giving away for the very first time ever this here bobblehead, a Chewinga bobblehead. Shout out to look at that great bobblehead. So if you got to get out there, First 5,000 fans, thanks to H&R Block, will get this bobblehead. Celebrates her record-breaking season. Incredible bobblehead, great look. It's even got the teal hair. Love that. I mean,
great.
Looks exactly like her. It's phenomenal. She's a stud. You got to go out there. If you're not going out to celebrate Chiefs, you know, you probably think this Chiefs game is probably a cakewalk, I'd assume. Got to go get the bobblehead. But look, you can't make it out there if you're going to be locked into the Chiefs. I understand. We happened at KC Sports Network to have, we snagged a couple on our way out of CPKC Stadium. We're like, we'll take a couple of these. So stay locked in. KC Sports Network at KC Sports Network. Make sure to be giving some away. If you can't make it out there to CPKC Stadium to go check out the ladies, which CPKC Stadium is a bumping spot right now. They just had the U.S. women's national team out there whooping up on New Zealand on them Kiwis. So there's a great time to be out there. They do have their fan appreciation. Also, they're going to have a playoff match. Got to get the playoff atmosphere. You know us in Kansas City. We love the playoffs. Incredible atmosphere out there at CPKC Stadium. If you haven't been out there, it's going to be history, right? This team's already made a ton of history. You can be a part of it, and they've got just incredible talent, right? I mean, they got Dabinia, they got Chowinga, as you just saw. She was a Ballon d'Or finalist. Like, that's insane. That's the world, guys. Like, that is the world. And they got women's national team players, Michelle Cooper, Claire Hutton, Lola Bonta, Allie Senator. I mean, look, they were representing them. They were representing the Current on Wednesday night. You can go get this. Look at. I mean, I love a good bobblehead. Josh,
It's really
I know you
well
do
done.
too.
It's
It is
really
a well done.
It's the heart hands if you're audio only here.
Yes.
It's really, really good.
Hard hands over the crest too. So like
Yeah.
you get it at the right
You're
angle.
right.
It goes
That angle right there. Mhm.
goes through the crest. It looks like her like that. Sometimes with bobbleheads, it's hard to like really truly.
You get some stinkers sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one very strong. You don't see a lot of soccer bobbleheads, and there's something about a bobblehead giveaway bobblehead that makes it so much better. Josh,
I'm looking over here at my shelf thinking, man, I got a couple spots. I'm sure I could slide that in. So I'm going to have to
we'll
give
have to
that
see.
some thought.
we'll have to see. But check out KC Sports Network. We'll be giving a couple of those away. But I just
got
wish
a little-
the Chiefs win.
I
And
got a
you get
little
bobblehead.
breaking news here for you. The Ravens have been fined $100,000 for violating the league's injury report policy by incorrectly listing quarterback Lamar Jackson's practice participation on Friday, November 24th. $100,000 for the Baltimore Ravens organization. That should do it. I think that'll do it.
Was it $200,000 for the Dable going into the
Medical
tent?
tent? I don't know, actually. Yeah, good
I think
question.
it was
I don't remember.
$200,000, and then he got fined himself $100,000, and Cam's got to go about fined $50,000.
Yep. And that's insane. Scadabu's not making that. He's on a rookie contract. He was a mid-round pick. That's kind of uncool.
Cool.
Yeah, so if it costs $100,000 to actively mislead your opponent and the entire world about the injury status of your quarterback, everyone should be doing that. Yeah. Everyone should be lying until they start taking draft picks. Just lie. It's $100,000. That's for the Baltimore Ravens. That Lamar didn't get fined. Right. The organization got fined $100,000.
Right.
Silliness.
It is.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and not take any fines on our end. We have been by the book through and through. We'll take our second timeout. And how about this? A little extra Halloween gift from Beards McFly to you. Yes, it's been a little while since the Washington Commanders game because it was Monday Night Football. Well, Beards has a Sad Fans for you. We'll do Sad Fans Commanders edition next.
Looking to remodel your home and in search of a top-quality company to do the job? Contact Elenco. Since 1986, Elenco has been the remodeler of choice for customers throughout Kansas and Missouri. As a family-owned and operated business, Elenco provides customers top-quality products and unbeatable service straight from their family to yours. From windows and doors to siding, insulation, and bathroom renovations, there's no need that Elenco can't meet and exceed. Elenco only installs products that have proven track records of success, such as the Kohler Luckstone shower system. Elenco's installers are factory-trained professionals who know how to get the job done, not only quickly, but flawlessly. Whether you're located in Kansas City, Topeka, Wichita, or a rural town in northeastern Kansas or western Missouri, Elenco will come to you. Go to elencohome.com for more information. That's ALENCO home.com. Again, elencohome.com for more information and contact them about all your home improvement needs.
Chiefs Kingdom, what is your favorite touchdown? By now, you guys already know that my favorite touchdown is the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. You want spreads? They got it. Over-unders? DraftKings got you covered. Same-game parlays, regular parlays? DraftKings has it, and you need it. And here's the best part. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
I saw the comment. I saw the comment from, I think it was Seamus in the chat, that said, "Oh, weird, visual gags in an audio medium, strange."
Yeah.
Sometimes I will tweet out the screenshot. The fact that the first words spoken in that segment were actually Lily's barks, I think, is incredibly, incredibly fitting. I'm putting my mask back on while we listen to Sad Fans Commanders Edition, because I don't have to talk. I just have to sit here and laugh, and I can laugh through a hockey mask. So, thanks again to the one and only Beards McFly. You can follow him on socials at Beards McFly. The often imitated, never replicated, the one and only, the original Beards McFly's Sad Fans, aka formerly known as Sad Fans on Reddit, aka now Sad Fans, does not necessarily reflect the opinions of Joshua Brisco, Tucker D. Franklin, Casey Sports Network, everything else, or frankly, Beards McFly. Do we have it, Tucker? Is it good to go? I saw a hold up for 1 second. Okay, great. And here's Sad Fans Commanders Edition.
And now, a list of things said by Washington football team fans.
Excellent. Good start.
Their football team in my heart. Are you shitting me? F***ing A, Debo. Jesus Christ, bro. Man, come on. We can't have Do you think God hates us? Okay. Good night, folks. Heading to bed. I should be upset, but I'm just disappointed and not surprised by how unprepared we've been this year. Me. Man, we're looking great on this drive. The football gods. Absolutely f***ing not. Walmart Christmas ads on October 27. Oh, look, the best receiver on the team, wide open. Hell yeah, Joe Witt, way to cook up something different. Virtual measurement equal, trust me, bro. All my homies hate clankers. Virtual measurement is more rigged than a Chauncey Billups poker game. I went and I made some toasts, took care of my dog, missed one play and 15 commercials. As a woman, that was definitely not 5 inches. I'm sorry, what the f*** was that? Surely the play wasn't thrown out of bounds, Marcus. They'll never see that coming. On a 4th and 1? Horrible call. This game is crazy. Interception, interception, turnover and downs, interception, turnover and downs. Can any of us do anything? No Yak Zach strikes again. Yeah, go play call. Leave Kelsey wide open. Don't pressure Mahomes. Time of death, 9:03 Eastern Standard Time. Oh no. They had to reload the fireworks. I can't believe we didn't have a single man within 20 feet of Mr. Swift. It's almost like our defensive game plan is to leave people as wide open as possible. I don't think the let Mahomes sit back and have a snack defense is it. I'd like to disown this defensive scheme. The skins are back. I'm watching the Manning cast and he's been disgusted with our defensive scheme and I'm like, dude, this is the best they've played all year. Debo legit looks fatter. What a season. Cosmede's doing a Fortnite dance instead of blocking. Cliff with the Fisher-Price playbook tonight. I can't even root for a tank because we have no draft picks, LOL. Get Grandpa Wagner off my team. Washington ran about 29 plays in the first half, as much as the Raiders did all game. Washington ran 14 plays in the second half. The offense totally the bed. Turns out, not getting points early when the offense just shreds through the KC defense really, really sucks. Debo stat line: 11 yards receiving, 1 yard rushing, 1 Little Giants blooper pass through the hands and off face mask. Maybe there will be parking available again next year. Hey, we only lost by 21 this week, which is an improvement from 22 last week. To keep it a buck, we... And now, the one thing that didn't make it from the opposing team. Mahomes throwing a pick, top 5 worst experiences in life, sad face emoji. And now, the winner of things said by sad Washington football team fans. Being a Commanders fan is like getting on a roller coaster that has a chance to punch you in the after every hill. You've ridden it before, and you've been punched in the repeatedly. Sometimes you'll even get multiple punches during the same day. But every week as you're getting on the roller coaster, you think to yourself, I won't get punched in the this week. No, sir. I talked to the owner, and he's reassured me that the punching feature has been removed. And sometimes you'll make it over the first hill without a punch, so you'll think you're a pretty smart guy. Sometimes you'll even make it 95% of the way through the roller coaster without feeling that familiar crunching sensation on your calloused... But you're never safe. As your little car rolls towards the end of the ride, you hear a noise. The wind seems to whisper, "Raise hail, dip." A tiny metal hand pops out and slams directly onto your... Again and again. It mashes your... It doesn't ever seem to stop. Mercy is a foreign language here. Suffering is the only dialect available. As you feel the whiskey you were drinking begin to make your return trip back up your throat, the last thought that flits through your gray matter before the familiar embrace of pain whites out all conscious function is, I bet next week when I ride this coaster, I won't get punched in the... You f***ing idiot!
That might be my favorite winner we've had this year, and it's definitely my favorite Tucker bit we've had yet in this show.
Yeah, that was a good winner. I mean, that was well thought out.
Well done. Well done.
Well written.
And by a real Washington football fan who's had their bleep punched on the roller coaster many, 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 many times.
Yeah. That was a very good one.
I can't think of a better way to send ourselves into the rest of Halloween. I got a multimedia roundup thing I'll do later. Maybe we'll hit it on Monday. I'll take a drink for every time I've said that. I do have 2 Ravens updates for you though here real quick. That didn't work. From Adam Schefter. Oh, delightful. Oh God, I love that little mini bottle you got there. Adam Schefter. The NFL believes the violation was the result of negligence, not an attempt to gain a competitive advantage. If the investigation had determined the violation was intentional or competitive in nature, the discipline would have been more significant, including the potential loss of draft picks. The Ravens cooperated fully with the investigation. Statement from the Baltimore Ravens. It is critical that the Baltimore Ravens always operate with integrity and in full accordance with NFL guidelines. We clearly made an error regarding... I haven't read this yet, sorry. We clearly made an error regarding player injury reporting and cooperated transparently with the NFL's investigation. The league's investigation. We accept the decision by the NFL that we violated the policy and have taken steps to ensure that we will be compliant moving forward. We will not appeal the ruling and are focused on our upcoming game versus the Vikings. We'll see if that happens again. I don't think it'll happen for Baltimore again, but it's an interesting precedent that the NFL has set there. Alex says the last sad comment there is originally from the Falcons subreddit, and it looks like Commanders fans are making it a copy pasta. Well, I appreciate it making it to the Commanders subreddit because we weren't going to get a sad Falcons fans this year. True. So I'm glad to have that in my life, and if that's a copy pasta, it's a well-deserved one.
It's a well-written one to be. Very. It's a good one to be a good copy pasta.
I love and Beards' dramatic reading.
Yes, he made
He's
that
just
made
the
it
best
better.
at
I
that.
think. Yeah, I
He's
think
just
he
the
made it a bit better.
Best it gets. Okay, well, there you go. We've done it. It's 1 o'clock. I've got 100 things to do before people start getting here in Halloween costumes. Maybe looking for candy and maybe looking for I don't know, food and a place to rest. We'll see. Renee, our house looks like Halloween now. Our dogs look mostly like Ninja Turtles, with a few more steps to be verified before Halloween really fully gets properly going. And we've got a hell of a game coming on Sunday, Chiefs Bills. Tucker, any final thoughts from you? A great visual bit from Tucker. If you are listening to this show, good excuse to go check it out on the KCSN YouTube channel, where you can watch the show. I don't anticipate everyone watches the show every week. I love the people who are here in the chat. It's a great hang. But if you're an audio listener, you can check out today's. We'll post some screenshots and on socials and everything. And I meant to mention this during the mobile game graveyard. The Substack. I'm doing it for every episode of this show. If you go to jbbrisco.com, it'll take you straight to, I think it's jbbrisco.substack.com. It's a summary or a few thoughts, a little columnette perhaps for a game preview, and then things like links to all of the mobile games that we talked about, or at least the good ones that we talked about,
Right.
that I think are worth playing. So you can subscribe for free over there and do that. Just another way to get some of our stuff out. And I'll put some screenshots of today's show in there. jbbrisco.com, that'll take you there. And did I already ask if you had anything else you wanted to say, Tucker? I think I did.
I just want to say, I want to suck your blood.
Bye, Mom.
I wasn't ready for that.
Those are my gloves, in case anybody was wondering. How are the teeth feeling, Tucker? Did you just lose one?
Well, I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get it off, so I just tried to pop it off. And,
Oh,
and I
okay.
can get it off.
You can?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's good. Though.
Too bad about no longer having eternal life or whatever, but... Hey, Tucker, if you're interested in that, I know a lawyer pastor from Minnesota who'd love to talk to you.
No, thank you.